welcome to episode 30 of Cardano Ecosystem News. My name's Timmy, and we have a really fun episode for you today. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be busy. We actually have 4 topics to talk to you about today. You might have actually seen during the intro sequence, there were 4 picture frames with a spotlight shining on them. Well, that's because those are the 4 stories that I'm going to be spotlighting in our episode today. And so you might have noticed that the first story was a beautiful poster from Input Output, that's IOG, the main developers of Cardano. And that's because our first story is a look at the congestion situation on the Cardano blockchain right now. And it's actually a very positive story. We've already started to see some lowered congestion and some better throughput. There's a lot of blocks that are getting written to the blockchain with just 70%, 80% full capacity. And so it's a much better story versus, 95, 96% that we saw last week. We're going to walk you through all of that, as well as 2 very, very important protocol parameter updates. Cardano is getting upgraded on February 4th. So just about 24, 36 hours from now, the network is going to get even better. We'll walk you through what's about to happen and why it's been happening incrementally. And we'll tell you a fun story about a bus in a city. I also want to tell you about something called chaos engineering. Now, this was something that was made really, really popular by Netflix. But a lot of the other FANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Google, they all do chaos engineering. And the idea is to test your system under extremely high load or extremely low capacity. And so the idea is to simulate what happens if there's an earthquake at one of your data centers, or what happens if it's the Super Bowl and everybody's storming onto your video platform. Can you handle these extreme load, these really tough scenarios? And I actually think that in the last 3 weeks, we've come out of a really beautiful chaos engineering period. And I can actually understand why Input Output might have actually wanted to see this data, to see how the system performs in live, in production, in a mainnet environment, with real nodes that are distributed organically across the globe. Nodes in data centers, nodes at people's houses. You can't do this on testnet. It's called chaos engineering, and I think we just passed with flying colors, and I want to tell you why I think it's actually good we do this 1 or 2 more times. As much as that sounds painful, I'd love to see us reach 96, 97%, a couple more times to get that chaos engineering data to IOG for when the traffic really, really comes. So that's our first story today, a bit of a long intro. Our second story is a look at the JPG.Store Launchpad. Now, if you're familiar with Y Combinator or Techstars, you'll know all about these accelerators or these incubators, these launchpads that help startups become unicorns. Well, the JPG.Store is launching their own launchpad to help NFT projects really have as much impact and as much success as possible. And they've just announced 12 projects that they've invited for their first cohort of the JPG.Store Launchpad. We'll tell you all about it, about the benefits of the program, and we'll also walk you through at a high level the 12 projects that made the cut for this first round. From there, I want to give you a look at the ADApe Society or the ADApes Society project. Now, this is one that we discovered on the channel a couple weeks ago, kind of by chance. Since then, the project has absolutely exploded. It's number 1 over the last 24 hours and the last 7 days on OpenSea NFT. The art is absolutely beautiful, and we think there's big things coming from the project team over the next few days. You're not gonna want to miss that third story today. And then finally, we wrap up the episode with a look at ShelterPets, and actually they built a wonderful tool called ShelterPetsID. And this is an amazing use of the Cardano blockchain. They're actually using NFC, near-field communication chips, embedded on the collar of pets in order to help find lost pets when they're lost on the street. And so the idea is they have technology where you can scan the collar or the tag of a cat or dog, and then that'll tell you the name of the human that lives with that cat. And so let's say if I got lost, you could scan my collar and it'll say, oh, hey, this is Timmy. please return them to, this address and this human in order to, reunite Timmy with his family. And so it's a beautiful story. They've actually made a lot of progress. We're going to walk you through that, as well as an interesting NFT collaboration between myself and the Shelter Pets project. Their artist, Hans Kingdom, did an amazing piece of art inspired by me and the Shelter Pets animals. And it's just beautiful to see. We're actually going to be giving away some of these NFTs. You're not going to want to miss that in our last story today. So a bit of a long intro, but I wanted to test my motion capture system. You might have noticed the audio should hopefully be better. There's still going to be more improvements. I think our next episode will have a little bit even better audio, but I think it's much better than it was last episode. I've also fixed the lighting. I went to Home Hardware and bought some lights for my place, so it should look a little bit brighter. And then the motion capture technology is a little bit improved as well, but there's going to be a big step up on the weekend. So get ready for that. I should be able to do a lot more movement this weekend and have a lot more fun. So thank you, everyone, for being patient with me as I try to kind of make changes to the format, make changes to the technology. There were some rough edges last episode, and it's still not perfect. But thank you for kind of being patient, and we'll get there. We'll get it super, super perfect and super, super nice before too long. A quick reminder as well, if you're looking for a stake pool, I think the Sunday Swap ISO is ending next week. Consider TIM1. That's TIM1. We set up a stake pool for the channel. I want to try and use some of that stake pool, rewards to go out and hunt for great NFTs and give that away to the delegators of the TIM1 stake pool. If you're looking for a stake pool, that's a great way to help me and help what we're doing here on the channel. All right, so super long intro. Go ahead and hit that like or subscribe so I don't die. So we want to start today's episode with a super quick look at the state of the Cardano blockchain and the congestion and throughput that we're seeing today versus last week. And the reason I'm talking about it now actually is because earlier this afternoon I was on a Discord channel and a few people were saying, whoa, it looks like Nami wallet totally fixed their congestion. And so I took a look and it actually looks like it's not Nami so much as it's Cardano. Cardano's congestion is way down compared to last week. The throughput and the response time is much improved. Now, it's not perfect. It's not as good as it was, a month ago before Sunday Swap launched, but it's gotten a lot better, and I'm excited to see where we might be next week. You see here that over the last 24 hours, the Cardano network has been at 87% load. That means, roughly each of the blocks are 87% full. Now, some of the blocks during peak times will be 100% full for several hours. But then other ones, you can see here, look, one just got minted, this block, 98% full. You see? But the block before that was only, 98% full, but this one here, 98% full. And so over the here's one at 92% full from Paul. And so you can see that some of the blocks are more full than others. Right now it's a little bit busy. I think Europe is waking up. And so it's 98% full. Over the last hour, it's averaged 85%. Over the last 24 hours, 87%. So that's already much better. Last week, it was 96% full, sometimes on the 1 hour and 24-hour congestion. And so there's a few things that have helped. One is just, the buzz and excitement from the Sunday Swap ISO has started to kind of calm down, and a lot of those transactions are now getting caught up. But also, you might remember, I think it was last week, that Input-Output HK, or Input-Output Global, IOG, they made an upgrade to the Cardano network. They increased the Plutus script memory units. And I think at that time they increased it from maybe 11.25 million memory units to 12.5 memory units. And they announced yesterday actually, February 1st, that they're going to do another parameter update. And this update is going to come very soon. It's actually going to come on the 4th of February. So it might be, around 24 hours from when you're listening to this video. The 4th of February at 9 p.m. UTC Standard Time, which is basically the start of Epoch 319, there's going to be multiple parameter increases. So last time they increased the memory, I think it was from 11.25 to 12.5 memory units, and roughly 1.25 memory unit increase, I think, last time. And now they're doing an increase of 1.5 memory units. So the memory units are going to increase, but the block size is going to increase as well. And this is a huge one. I just showed you a second ago that the blocks, here's one that just came out 2 minutes ago, 91% full. Now, when we increase the block size, let's say if we increase the block size 10%, then instead of this being 91% full, it might be something like 82% full. And so more of these blocks are going to be like kind of in this lower number, 90%, 80%. This one here, that's 94% full. Well, if we increase the capacity of each block can have more transactions, then we'll have less of these above 90% blocks. And that's the whole idea with how the Cardano blockchain works. Here's one that just came out, 77% full 1 minute ago. And so, some of these blocks now are not getting filled all the way, which is encouraging. That means the network is able to keep up with the transactions that are going through. And now, next week you might see some that are 90% full again, but the number of transactions will be higher. And so a month from now, 90% full might mean 60 transactions, whereas right now, 91% full is 57 transactions. Right? 2 months from now, if you see 90% full, that might mean 100 transactions. And so that's what's really encouraging about increasing the block size. We'll be able to fit more transactions into each of these blocks. And remember, these blocks come, I think it's roughly every 20 seconds. And so these blocks are regularly getting written to the blockchain. And so as we increase the size of the blocks, we can have more transactions in them. I like to think of it as a bus, like a city bus system. And the buses are going on a fixed schedule, right? The bus reaches a bus stop at the same time every day. It's on a fixed schedule. But there's only so many seats in the bus. And so you might be waiting there for your bus to come, and the bus comes. But when you go up the stairs, there's no more empty seats on the bus. And so your transaction that you wanted to do on the blockchain, there's nowhere for it to sit. And so you have to come down the stairs and get off the bus, and you have to wait for the next bus. And so you're next in line, but you're maybe waiting, 20 seconds for the next bus to come. That's how the Cardano blockchain works. Your transaction is sitting on the side of the road, and we basically call that the mempool. Your transaction is sitting on the side of the road in the mempool, and it's waiting to get on the bus. Every 20 seconds, a bus goes by. But lately, there hasn't been any free seats on the bus. As you can see now, though, this block is 66% full. So there's still, there's still, 34% of the seats filled. There's 33% more transactions can get in. And so if you were trying to do a transaction when this block got written, there would have been room. But other times, 95% full, there's probably not room on the bus. If your transaction is a big one, that might not have had anywhere to sit. Sometimes I have a lot of bags with me when I get on the bus, and I really want to sit in the back where there's like that really long seat for like 6 people. I love to get on that back seat sometimes. But sometimes there's only a small seat in the front, for one person, and I just have to get off the bus and wait for the next bus. And so lately, that's what we've experienced. We've been waiting for buses with empty seats. We've been waiting for blocks that have capacity. But let's be clear, the buses stayed on schedule. The Cardano blocks kept coming every 20 seconds. There was no issue with like the Cardano protocol or the Cardano network. Everything kept going at the same every 20 seconds, right? The heartbeat, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. The heartbeat kept going every 20 seconds. The problem is there were no seats on the bus. The blocks were just full. There was no room for your transaction, so you were just waiting for the next bus, then waiting for the next bus. And so that's what was happening. This one, 97% full. So there's probably some people that, wanted to get into this block. Maybe they were trading some NFTs, at this time of day, or they were doing something, changing their, their stake delegation or something. And they didn't get to fit in there. And so now their wallet is spinning, waiting for the next block to hopefully get into the next block. Well, getting back to the input-output article, they're increasing the block size. So from 72 kilobytes to 80 kilobytes. So basically, they're adding extra seats to the bus. The bus used to have 72 seats. Well, now it's going to have 80 seats. Every 20 seconds, the block is going to come. Every 20 seconds, a new bus is going to come to the bus stop, and there's going to be 8 more seats. So that's really, really cool. 8 seats might not sound like a lot, but remember, this is every 20 seconds, the heartbeat is coming. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. So you can imagine if this was like a city bus, how could they do this? Well, they would have to extend the bus, right? And you might have seen in some big cities, the buses have extensions on them, right? They have it's almost like 2 buses that are attached with this weird kind of transport slinky elastic in the middle. Well, that's the idea. They're adding a little extension to the back of the bus so that they can fit more seats. They're making the block a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a block size. But I want to take this analogy a little bit further, because you might be asking yourself, well, why don't they just add, 100 more seats to the bus? Why are they going from 72 kilobytes to 80? Why are they only adding 8 kilobytes? Why are they only adding 8 seats? Well, the thing is, if you're adding more space to the end of a bus, like in a city system, imagine these buses are coming every 20 seconds. But now suddenly each bus is a little bit longer. Well, what that's going to mean is the next bus might like the current bus that's full, that you're waiting for it to get out of the way, it's longer. So it's going to take longer for that bus to get out of the way and for the next bus to come. Remember, the bus that's in front of you, you went up the stairs, it's full, there's no room for your transactions, there's no seat, you come down the bus, and now you're waiting for the next bus. But that bus that was full is long. And so it's actually going to take longer for it to get out of the way in the line of buses for the next bus to come. And so what we want to do is be very careful about increasing the size of the buses, because it'll slow down the frequency of buses moving along the road. So I'm taking this analogy a little bit far, I think, but you can imagine a really long bus. And if that bus is full and you have to get off and wait for the next bus, it could take 5 minutes for that bus to just keep driving past you if it's like a super long bus the size of a mall or something. And so we don't want that. So we only want to increase the buses and make them as big as they absolutely need to be, so that we can have very frequent buses going by, very frequent blocks going by. And so it's important to do incremental increases. Now, anyhow, to kill the analogy, so they're going to be doing another increase to the block size. They're adding seats to the bus for more transactions, and they're going to be doing this on the 4th of February. Okay, so this is the start of Epoch 319, and they're also adding more memory for the Plutus scripts, more memory units, which is great as well. But the block size is a big one for us. And they're having to do this very carefully, because as I mentioned, if they do it too fast, it could actually have negative consequences. It's very important for the blockchain that a block is sent across the network every 5 seconds, okay? Every 5 seconds, we want every stake pool, every node, to get all of the block, or the latest block. Okay, and so 5 seconds is not a lot of time. There's a lot that has to happen in that 5 seconds. There's over 3,000 nodes in the Cardano network. And so all 3,000 of these nodes need to get the block within 5 seconds. If the block is too big, it's going to be hard to keep blocks going throughout all of the nodes every 5 seconds. And so we need to do this very slowly. And, IOG has committed to making a change and then watching it for at least one epoch. So they make a change and then they watch it for 5 days. And if everything looks okay, the buses are still moving on schedule, then they'll increase it a little bit more. But it's very important to do this gradually. Otherwise, the whole transport network can just go to the bin. It can be really, really bad. And so they're being very, very diligent about how they're doing this. Now, I also want to talk about something else that I mentioned in the intro to this video, and that's chaos engineering. And now chaos engineering is something that Netflix does a lot of. And, a lot of these technology companies, they're like Netflix and Facebook and Google, when everything is working perfectly, there's no issue. But sometimes maybe one of their data centers will have an earthquake, or there could be a natural disaster or something really, really bad, an act of God, an act of chaos. And so the question is, these development teams, they want to know, how does their system perform? How does their system react and adapt when there's one of these really wild, acts of nature, acts of God, like a volcano or like, a tornado or an earthquake? If a whole data center explodes or goes offline, what happens to the network? And so we call that chaos engineering. Chaos engineering is about trying to simulate those really, really bad disasters and seeing what happens to the network. And actually, Netflix has gotten really good at that. They'll go in and they'll turn off big chunks of their AWS, their Amazon Web Services deployment, and just to see, okay, what happens if we simulated some kind of an attack or some kind of downtime in this region of our network. And now I'm talking about this in terms of Cardano because it's actually quite useful that over the last few weeks, we've been able to see how Cardano behaves when it's at tremendously high capacity. When Cardano is at 96%, 97% capacity, we now know what that feels like. It feels like waiting a few hours for your transactions to go through. A few of the transactions maybe not going through, but you get your transaction fee back. You don't pay any transaction fee. But overall, the network keeps on running. The buses keep on moving. That's what we proved. And so part of me wonders if maybe IOG intentionally wanted to get the congestion numbers as high as 95%, 96%, because for them it's very useful to see how their network behaves in the live production environment, how it behaves under load. Now, sure, they have a testnet, but they don't have 3,000 nodes that are organically distributed all over the world in different data centers and in different homes for people running, nodes at home in production in mainnet. And so it's actually been a really, really useful experience, I believe, for IOG to see it at such high load. And now that they've got that data, now that all of us have confidence that Cardano will work fine, like it'll have lag, but it won't crash and blow up at 96% load, that's really, really good. We did a live production stress test over the last few weeks. And so, I understand IOG might have asked SundaeSwap to, go ahead, deploy now, even though we're not ready. And, some people in Twitter have said, well, why doesn't Cardano just bump up these numbers? Why are we only adding 8 seats to the bus? Well, there is some value in getting the congestion numbers high while we're still in this testing phase, just to see, what happens if we just get tons and tons of congestions one day. What happens if, Solana, when it gets a lot of traffic, it just shuts down. It just turns off. But what we've discovered now is Cardano doesn't turn off. That heartbeat keeps going. Every 20 seconds, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Every 20 seconds, a new block is written to the blockchain, and every 5 seconds, all the blocks are propagated across the network of nodes. It's working perfectly in that sense. And so we should be thankful, I think, for this congestion, this high congestion period. And, I think IOG should be thankful as well that we helped them stress test mainnet over these last few weeks. We did some chaos engineering as a group, as a community. And we came through on the other side. So I think we'll do it again. I think eventually, we'll probably want to get up to 96, 97% again. But at that time, the block sizes will be huge. We'll have reference Plutus scripts, and it'll mean a lot more transactions happening. And I think that would be another time to do some chaos engineering and see how the network responds. And so there might be appetite and reason not to increase the block sizes quite yet. We kind of want to do a bit more testing, in my opinion. So that's my thought. Let me know what you think down in the comment section around the congestion. Are you seeing some improvement? And if not, did my analogy of the bus and seats on the bus, and we're adding more seats here, we're adding more block size, but we don't want to do too much because long buses can be a problem as well. And the big thing is this is happening on February 4th. February 4th, we're going to get another 11% increase to the block size. Big, big news. So what I'd like to do now is share a really cool, a really positive story coming out of JPG.Store. For anyone not familiar, the website is JPG.Store, and this is really one of the leading NFT marketplaces on Cardano. I think it's one of the closest things to Cardano's version of OpenSea right now. And you can see they have a very beautiful, very bright and friendly website design. They've got these wonderful carousels down here showing the trending collections on top. You've got ADApe Society, who we're going to be talking about in a little bit. Of course, the Boss Cat Rocket Club, one of our favorites on the channel. They've got a section for new collections, and then the all-time highest volume collections down here. You've got Space Buds at almost 20 million volume. That's going to be amazing to see one of the first Cardano NFT projects cross that 20 million volume here on JPG.Store. There's ADApes down there. So it's a very beautiful, very bright design. But what I want to share with you today is this announcement that's pretty new around their Launchpad. And I was just blown away by this. I'm very familiar with Y Combinator or YC, which is a very famous Silicon Valley Launchpad or accelerator. They were one of the very first, really, Paul Graham, to set up an accelerator for startups. So for brand new startups that want to have, successful businesses, they would apply to the Y Combinator Launchpad. Well, and many products that like Airbnb, for example, came through the Y Combinator Launchpad. And so here is the JPG.Store Launchpad, and they bill it as, are you new to creating NFTs? Well, we want to help you get started. You're going to get support and mentorship from Cardano's biggest collections. So that's pretty cool. And I've taken a look at the mentors and the partners they have, and it's a pretty impressive roster of mentors. It's really, really cool. Now, applications for the first cohort have closed, but just yesterday and the day before, they announced which projects were chosen for this kind of inaugural pilot version of the Launchpad. And so we'll tell you a little bit more first about what the Launchpad is all about. You can click this Learn More button, and it'll take you to this landing page, which is on Notion, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Notion. And they walk you through the philosophy of the program and the philosophy of JPG.Store. And they say creators first, right? Plain and simple, that's our philosophy. We're only here to provide a platform to enable you to do what you do best. You focus on your art while we take care of the rest. I love that. I also love how it rhymes. So that's an extra bonus. Heads up and hats off to JPG Store. So they talk more about, like, this program is really for up-and-coming NFT projects, ones that haven't minted yet, or even individual artists and creators looking to launch their first CNFT, Cardano NFT collection. And they say this launchpad is for you if you fit into one of those two groups. And so the idea here is that they're going to partner with leading creators and create these kind of mentorship and training opportunities for you. But it's actually a lot more than that. But you know, they talk about all the different benefits. Let's actually go through those first. They talk about getting guaranteed verification on JPG Store before you launch. And this is a big one because some projects, you know, they'll mint, but they won't be ready with JPG Store. Well, the people who are chosen to participate in this launchpad, this accelerator for Cardano NFTs, they will be listed right when they launch. And so they'll be all set from day one, and the projects will be able to start earning royalties right away. And that's very important. You know, we'll talk about that a little bit with ADApes. We really think it's important that the projects are able to sustain themselves and hopefully work on it full time. And so royalties, I think, are a really positive thing that are helping projects last longer and prevent rug pulls. So I love that the Launchpad is going to help these projects get set up early to do that. It's also going to help them with the minting process. And actually, a lot of the metadata is pretty difficult to set up. There's a bunch of metadata just around how you're going to set up your collection and the royalties, and that's kind of like metadata. But then there's metadata for each and every NFT in the collection. And so you need to get that absolutely right, all the trait filtering and all the accessories and stuff, so that it'll look correct on the JPG Store marketplace. And so if you're not very technical, you know, or if you're just not sure at all how to do that, then the Launchpad will help you do that. They'll get you all set up. So that's a pretty big benefit. Another thing is you'll get mentorship and you'll be part of a community. And so there's going to be a group chat where you and the other projects in your cohort can help each other. You can share resources. You can talk about maybe doing collabs together and just kind of troubleshoot and problem solve and bounce ideas off of each other. And I know that for Y Combinator, this is a very big thing. The Y Combinator groups are in cohorts. I mean, the large cohorts are twice a year, but you know they go in. I think it's every Tuesday still to speak with YC partners, and they have dinners where you know, famous industry leaders, including like Mark Zuckerberg, will come and speak to Y Combinator. And so you can imagine, you know, the Facebook. You know, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook parallel to CNFT, you know, maybe Claymates, right? Some of these popular projects, Yummy Universe, right? Chilled Kongs, you can get mentorship from them. You're also going to get special shout outs on Twitter, and we'll actually show you some of that. They've actually already started to do that. We'll walk you through that in a minute, but JPG Store will help to promote your project, and that's huge. I mean, JPG Store has a ton of followers. Let's see if we can bring it up here. Yeah, 20,000 followers, which is huge for a brand new project, so that marketing benefit is great. And then they're going to help you prevent scams, help you to kind of avoid mistakes and get yourself into some trouble. So that's really good. In terms of the actual mentors, I've listed a few, but they have more information here. They've got the Veggiemates, they've got Claymates, Clumsy Ghosts, Ugly Bros. That's a beautiful project. Yummy Universe. We'd love to cover them one day. That's a very creative project. Goat Tribe is also very popular. And of course, Chilled Kongs, a very, very popular ape monkey project. So, I mean, these are some of the leaders, you know, in the CNFT space, certainly. You know, if you look at the main JPG Store page, you'll see a lot of those projects on like the all-time greatest, right? There's Clay Nation, right? There's Chilled Kongs, there's Yummy Universe. And so when JPG Store says, you know, you're going to get some mentorship by some of the leading projects, they really mean it. Not all of the leading projects, there's definitely some missing, but this is a pretty amazing collection of mentors. I think it's something I would seriously take a look at if I was starting an NFT project. So that's the overview of the Launchpad. And so you're going to want to keep an eye on these projects that were selected. We'll walk you through that now. They've selected 12 projects for this first cohort. And so 2 days ago, they announced the first 6 of the 12. And so you can see one of them here, False Idols NFT. You can see what some of their art looks like there. Kind of nice beak on the birds. That's pretty cool. Ada Homes. Now, I was looking at this as part of the Launchpad announcement. Totally unique. Let's keep that sound off. You can own your own home here. You know, super different designs. There's like a duplex kind of. There's a pyramid. it's really interesting. It's a different style of NFT altogether. So we'll definitely want to keep an eye on this one, Ada Homes. There's a couple others. Mr. Fancy NFT. It's just, reminds me of Handies, right? Super creative. It's all about fans. I think in the summertime that'll be really, really popular. Racing Reds NFT kind of reminds me of Among Us a little bit, right? Similar style to Among Us, super playful, super colorful. And then Rebellion NFT. This one's been trending quite a bit. I've seen this on a lot of Twitter posts lately. Super super unique artistic style. Look at this cat, just totally wild. I think that's very, very cool. So that's Rebellion NFT. And then the last one of the first 6 that they released on Monday was Baduzki, I think is how you pronounce it. But you can see this kind of like cool dude, this cool character, and some unique variations, right? Some kind of a little monster on his shoulder, a TV head there. So that was like a fun project. And then they had 6 more that they announced just yesterday. You can see a quick overview of them here. So we've got the Space Squirrels, and then Ada Elements. Now this is the previously Ada Clouds, but Mrs. Muffet and the artist, I think, was it Campus or Campus 5? I think they've resurrected this project, and now they're part of this JPG.Store Launchpad, which I think is super cool. They've also got Meta Freaks. Now I like this one because like that Nintendo looking controller is pretty cool. I love like this 3D look, so that's kind of neat. And they've really zoomed in on the profile photo, right? They've really zoomed in on the art, so this will look good as like a PFP. And then they've got Fun Guys CNFT. And then let's see, 2 more, Juke Boys. So this one's interesting, the square head. I wonder about that McDonald's logo though. Are they gonna be able to get away with that? I don't know, but there's some other variations that look pretty cool. There's a gold chain there, silver chain, and then Moonimals. So another animal-based one, but again, very unique variations. One of them has a mug of beer in his hand. Another one has a pistol. So this is different variations from what we're used to. So those are the 12 projects that are part of this first launchpad, and I feel like this is like a bit of a pilot. They say our first cohort is completely free and empowered by a community who wants to see you succeed. A little bit of rhyme there, one more time, and so. They're not going to be taking any of your equity, like Y Combinator, or Techstars. They would take equity, but it doesn't look like they're doing that for the first cohort. And in the second and third, maybe they will. I'm not sure what that'll look like. It might be a certain % of your supply or something. I'm not sure. Maybe royalties. They might try and have a piece of the royalties. That might be a nice win-win scenario. So if you do well, they do well. But we'll see. We'll see what that's going to look like in future cohorts, or if it'll remain free. But we know for sure this first one is free. And so, yeah, I'm thinking of it as a pilot, as a prototype, and really curious to see how this goes. It's so cool that JPG Store is trying to help grow the Cardano CNFT community with the JPG Store Launchpad. Very cool. Amazing, guys. Really, really continue to be a bigger and bigger fan of this CNFT marketplace. So what I want to do now is a quick recap of what's happened with this amazing project. It's called the ADApe Society, or the ADApe Society, and it's really, really come a long way. We discovered this project, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, just totally randomly. I was just kind of browsing Twitter and I saw some of the art. It jumped out at me. Even though it's 2D art, I could tell it was a whole different level of quality. And if you go back and watch the video that we shared a few weeks ago, I can tell you all about the really cool art techniques that I was noticing, that Cardman, their artist, was doing, and it's totally amazing, just totally flexing on us about how much different art techniques and methods he can do, and really, really high quality art. And so the question was, okay, well, what's going to happen to one of the highest quality 2D art projects I've seen? Is it going to be successful? And I think the story is in that, yeah, it was quite successful actually. They minted 7,000 ADApes. They had 7,000 NFTs at a mint price of 99 ADA. So certainly that's a very high mint price, but they all sold out. They sold out in minutes, maybe even less than a minute. They were basically instantly sold out. I didn't even try to mint. I actually don't really mint anymore. I minted some dog nuts earlier this morning. I was able to get a couple dog nuts. I got 2 now. But with this one, I just bought 3 on the marketplace. So I've been going to JPG Store and just buying them off the marketplace a few minutes after mint. So right after the mint happens, I'll go onto the marketplace and just kind of buy the floor or buy the ones that I'm interested in. That's what I've been doing. But they sold out right away at 99 ADA by 7,000. So that's, almost 700,000 ADA into the team's treasury. And some of you might say, well, that seems really, really high. Are they going to run away with that money, right? For some of us, we might take 700,000 ADA and run to, the Bahamas and live there for the rest of our lives. But It's actually the opposite. And, I've said this before. Projects like ADApe Society, projects like Bosscat Rocket Club, like Pavia, these ones that have really successful mints are able to build large treasuries. And with that, they're able to do a lot more. They're able to hire developers. They're able to do marketing. They're able to do partnerships and collaborations, right? And so having a big treasury and being able to unlock these options for your project is super important. It's actually the projects that are minting for 15 ADA and maybe not selling out that make me worry, right? The projects that have a lot of unminted supply make me worry, and the ones where, it doesn't feel like the team was able to build enough of a treasury to make working on the project interesting, right? We don't want the developers to get burnt out. And so this is a beautiful story, in my opinion, 7,000 by 99 ADA. And so you can see this is their old website. There's actually going to be an update to the website coming in a little bit, and an updated roadmap. I've been talking a little bit to Congo. Congo is one of the founders, and I've been chatting with him in Discord, and I asked him not to tell me anything confidential because I don't want to accidentally spill the beans. So I don't know anything that isn't public, but some of you might not know some of the stuff that I know. I've just kind of collected it by reading Discord and chatting with Congo. But what he has told me is like he's super grateful, and like they have a big treasury now that they're going to be able to do some pretty big things. And I think in the next few days, the next couple of weeks, it sounds like there might be, some announcements. They've got a DAO, a decentralized, autonomous organization. So the community is making suggestions in their Discord, and I think they're going to do some pretty big things. And so what I can say is this roadmap here is out of date. So there's going to be an update to the roadmap, and it sounds like the new roadmap is going to be much, more ambitious and more exciting. Is the takeaway I got from Congo. That's as much as I can share because that's as much as I know. And so keep an eye out for an updated website and an updated roadmap now that this project has had such a successful mint. And so you might be asking, well, what's the big deal? What made this one stood apart from, this other NFT collection? And for me, it really has been the art. And so this has kind of answered the question, does art matter? And to be honest, it does. Because, up until now, it really has been the art for this project. They haven't said they're going to build a metaverse or build a P2E game or do anything like that. They've really just been riding on the art of Cardman. Cardman is their artist, and a big part of their success is the art. They don't have a token yet. I don't know if they will, but they haven't done any of that kind of stuff. It's really just the art, and it's been incredibly successful. So in my opinion, this is proof that the art does matter. And you can be successful with just beautiful art. Look at this one. This was a Twitter post from the official Twitter of the project, and you can see 843 likes, almost 500 retweets. There's tremendous energy and excitement. The community has totally rallied around this project. These numbers are very, very high, and it's very, very healthy to see so much community engagement, 1,000 likes and half a thousand retweets. Just totally nuts. People outside of Cardano are definitely taking notice of this. But scrolling down, look at some of the other art. I absolutely love this one, with this kind of like riot gear, kind of like, robo gear, and these kind of, they're laser eyes, they're like fire eyes. But totally wild, this one here, super cool with his hat. Now, these are just regular people that purchased these ADApes, sharing their ADApes on Twitter, and a lot of people have started to do this. Every time I open up my Twitter feed, I'm seeing more of these ADApes getting posted, and the community is engaging with them, right? 11 likes on this one, super cool. It hasn't even been an hour, 38 minutes. I love the lit cigar there with the little gold at the end of the cigar. 18 likes on this beautiful blue ADApe. Just amazing. I like this color here, the zigzag, the monocle. It's not an accident that there's a dark green background here, right? If the artist made it like white or like super bright, it would wash out the colors here. It would wash out the neck line here on his jacket or shirt. It would wash out the white in the beard. He's very, very thoughtful about the colors. And one thing I noticed earlier today is the colors of the face is different, right? See this one with the blue? He's got a blue and a purple background, but then the face is all purple as well. The nostrils are darker purple, the ears are dark purple. All the colors go together. Super cohesive, super thoughtful, right? You can imagine like a color wheel. And I get the impression that like Cardman, the artist, seems to be like a properly trained artist in terms of the color selection and the art techniques. Just a totally different league, and that's why it's doing so well, and it deserves to do well, in my opinion. So that's their Twitter feed. It's at ADApe Society. Oh, wow, they follow me too. Super, super cool. I like this project. I like the team. They set up a custom role for me in Discord. I'll show you that in a little bit because I've kind of been on this roller coaster with them as well. Like, I don't own, I'm not part of the team. I don't have any like financial incentive other than the 3 ADApes that I own. But somehow I feel invested. I'd love to be like a longer-term partner with this project. It's one of my top 3, maybe top 5 projects right now. So this is their CNFT tools page. They're fully registered on CNFT tools, and so you can go here and you can check all your rarity. You can search by, you can find your exact one, and then figure out what rarity it is. This one here is, rarity 236, going for 15,000 ADA. This one here, 12,500 ADA, rarity 111. Totally wild. One thing I want to point out is we actually got the official rarity guide from the team. And so this shows like the different percentage for each of the accessories. You can get a halo is half of 1%. A crown is exactly half of 1%. The golden helmet seems popular, though, at 6%. 10% of them have a top hat. So you can see all the different percentages. But then also you've got percentages for families. And this is new. I want to show you this. Each ADApe has a name. And how cool is that? Here's, here's Penley Levine. It looks like this is mostly the Levines. And then we've got the Monet family here. Look at this guy with the sombrero. Let's see if we can zoom into him a little bit. Wow. Totally cool. Oh, man. I love it. This one here, the Baldwins. And so each one of them has a name, and you can see they obviously have a shared last name, and that's because they're of the same family. And we actually got this family list here from the project a couple days ago. And so you can see there's different classes. And I love this because the project is called ADApe Society. And so you can imagine an actual society of apes or planet of apes. And, if you had a society, you would have different families that live in the society, and you would have different occupations and different classes of people. You would have a noble class, and here they're called the De Medici family. And I think that was like an actual, older medieval, maybe Italian family, maybe a French. I think it's Italian that had a lot of power in Europe. I think it's like historically accurate, but don't quote me on that. But I believe so. But then you've got craftsmen. Where there's a lot of craftsmen families, artists, explorers, merchants. You can have a military officer and then royal advisors, which are pretty rare. Only 3 families of of royal advisors, which is why they're ranked pretty high, right? You can see here a lot of these are the nobles, which is the top class, or you've got the Levines, the royal advisors here. So that's super cool. I love that. And you can go in here on CNFT tools and find your exact one. And so if you mint one, let's say if you manage to mint this one here, this is Forbes Wilson. We're actually going to be giving this away on the channel. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But let's say if you win Forbes Wilson by the giveaway that I'm going to do, you can go into here and find Wilson and you kind of just search down here for Forbes Wilson. You'll be able to find him. Let's see if I can... so body is chainmail, ears, feather pen. So that should be enough to identify him. So I like to go here, go to ears and find the feather pen. Oh, there you go. There's Forbes Wilson. Oh, yeah. And then, so you can find them. You can find them here anyway if you do your search. And so you can find the aliens. It looks like there's no Wilson aliens there. There's a Remington Monet alien, which is super, super cool. So it's all here on CNFT tools. You can figure out your rarity. And so if you're going to list or if you want to buy, double check the rarity. Make sure the price is right. Make sure you set it right and make sure you're paying the right price if you're going to buy some on the secondhand market. I was looking at a few earlier. I'll just show you a little bit more eye candy. I love the glasses on this guy, but look at the alien eyes there. Super, super cool. The blue ones really stand out to me. The blue eyes too. Cardano. I think they're calling this Cardano Blue is the name of this fur. I think if you go to CNFT tools, Cardano is the color there. I must have a filter on. Oh, there we go. That's why. So there you go. Was there another one? Yeah, this one here. I loved his eyes and the pipe. Just beautiful, beautiful artwork. Big shout out to Cardman, the artist. And so in terms of volume, we were looking at it. I was telling you earlier, 2 million volume in the last 3 days. 2 million volume in the last 3 days. 5% royalty, right? So $100,000 in royalty in just the last 3 days, which means the team is making money, which means they're not incentivized to just go to the Bahamas. They're probably more incentivized to try and reinvest some of that money, make the project bigger. It's like a proper business now, and so that's true for Boss Cat Rocket Club as well. And, I love that the top 3 here, the ADApe Society, the Boss Cat Rocket Club, and the Boss Cat Rocket Parts, these are 2 and 3 of the project that we've supported the most on this channel. And so that makes me really proud. And I know a lot of you have reached out to me talking about just, how well the channel has been doing by recommending these two projects really strongly. And so, for now, I'm really thankful that BCRC and the ADApe Society have done well and have done well for the channel. And so you can see here, so far they're holding this 400, 450. It was at 650 last night. It's come down a little bit, so it is on discount. And yeah, we'll see. I think I might try and pick up one or two later today, maybe if it gets down to 400. Maybe I can snipe some around that level. So really good market mechanics, really good market numbers from this project, just totally destroying OpenSea NFT right now. I think all time, they're already at 13. Like I was saying, they were at 16 yesterday. So they were at rank 16 yesterday. They're at 13 now. And if you look, they have a real good shot at being top 10 like within the next few days, right? They've got 2.1. Next is Baby Alien Club. They should be able to flip Baby Alien Club in the next hour or two. From there, one of these Clay Nation variants and then a bigger jump to the 10th spot. But, all these are within 3 million. I think by this time next week, you could see this project in the top 10 at ADApe Society. Very, very cool. Very, very healthy in terms of how the market and the community is responding. So I also want to mention just quickly, they are obviously on JPG Store. I was showing you this earlier when we were talking about JPG Store's new Launchpad. But you can see Boss Cat Rocket Club here on the trending page and ADApe Society, of course, 1.25 million total volume in this last little period. But when you click through, 2 million volume. Super, super cool. Really way to go, guys. We can sort by low to high. Wow, you can still get this one for 419 ADA. That's a steal. If I had my wallet connected, I would probably pick that up. I'm gonna have to take a look here. I like this one too. Look at that suit. I'm gonna probably sweep the floor. Maybe I don't have a ton of ADA, but maybe I can buy one or two, maybe two, maybe three if I get the cheapest ones. So on to the giveaway. We're actually going to be giving away these two ADApes, and these were donated to us by the project. Now they haven't sent me any ADA for this video, and I don't have any partnership with the team. I'd like to one day. I mean, this is one of my top 3 projects, but right now we don't have any kind of partnership or anything. But they did donate 2 of these ADApe NFTs that I want to give away to you guys. For anyone who delegates to Tim1, we're going to be giving away these 2 ADApes. And, right now the floor is 450. And so, that's 900 ADA worth right there. But we're also going to be giving away 2 Makasi Itos. And then I have a dog nut to give away. And I have some block owls I'm going to give away. We also have that Shelter Pets collab, which is like a Timmy version of a Shelter Pet we're going to be giving away. All those we're going to be giving away in March. And so I think in March we'll probably give away like, 2,000 or 3,000 ADA worth of NFTs, maybe even more, depending on how these ones go here, the ADApes. So yeah, if you can delegate to Tim1, you'll be able to become eligible for that giveaway. There'll be more details there. Like we might give away some of them to everyone, but some of the more expensive NFTs, maybe we'll do it for anyone that's delegated more than 100 ADA. We have to see what the numbers look like. But, for people that delegate just, 3 ADA, 4 ADA, something like that, I still want to give them something. I think no matter how much you delegate, you can win the official Timmy 10 Epoch supporter NFT. Everyone will be able to mint that. But for some of these other ones, we might do like, everyone who delegates more than 100 ADA. Probably that's what we'll do for these ADApes. So heads up on that. The stake pool is called Tim1, Tim1, and we're giving away a ton of NFTs, probably the first or second week of March. So that's that piece. And then I wanted to show you their Discord as well, if I can jump over. This is their Discord. And as I was saying, the community is totally energized and on fire. Over 11,000 members in their Discord right now. And the general channel, I have the general channel open here. And there's tons of activity. There's tons of chatting, right? Here we go, 8:04 p.m., 8:04, 8:04, 8:04, 8:04. Like, there's 10 or 20 messages happening every minute. Here's Congo. Congo's actually the founder, one of the founders. Congo and Cardman and Matassa. Well, I haven't had a chance to chat with Matassa too much yet. But the dev team, the founders, are super accessible. They're right here, right in the chat all the time. I was on here last night, and they were right there in the Discord chat as well. Oh, wow, this guy's selling this one here. Very, very cool. Jeez, beautiful. I love the sombrero. So the team is in the chat. You can see Congo chatting here again, and just a ton of other people chatting. This is their general channel. But I also was checking out their memes channel, which is pretty good. They have some pretty good memes. They had a pretty good one around Chuck Norris. I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, this one I thought was super cool. Totally wild. This one is beautiful. And these are community, right? The community is making this meme, this fan art. How amazing is that? Kind of not cyberpunk, steampunk kind of look. Very cool. This one too, I looked at earlier. Jeez. I like it. So check out the memes channel. There's some pretty funny ones. You know, the Chuck Norris here. You know, this one's pretty badass, they say. So yeah, check it out. It's a pretty fun community. Everyone's being positive right now. Everyone's being very supportive. And they have a DAO channel, a decentralized autonomous organization. This is where the community is making suggestions. And, you know, maybe there's going to be voting. Potentially there could be a vote where, you know, the community can help decide some of the lore. And so I showed you a little bit earlier the families, but there might be some history and some lore that we can build around that. And I think potentially the DAO will be able to vote or have influence on that. But then I think there's going to be a lot more coming. You know, I don't know for sure, but it sounds like they're really leaning into the idea of the DAO and voting. So keep your eye open for like any news around that and the updated roadmap. So yeah, new roadmap coming, new website coming. The whole website's going to be redesigned. And yeah, I just wanted to visit this project again. Absolutely beautiful. It's been a huge success. If you're thinking of getting a new NFT, if you haven't gotten one of these yet, I'm probably going to buy a couple more. This is one of my top 3, you know, yeah, probably top 3 projects right now, I would say. You know, Bosscat Rocket Club, Pavia are up there, Lazy Llamas. So, you know, there's probably 5 or maybe 6 right now that I really, really like. It's so hard to choose, right? It's like choosing your children. But this is definitely equal to any of the other great ones. So ADApe Society, giving away Forbes Wilson, and we're giving away Hugh Castillo to all delegators of the TIM1 staking pool. TIM and then the number 1. All right. And now we want to show you a really, really cool project. Well, really, it's an update from a cool project. The project is ShelterPets. We covered them a few weeks ago on the channel, actually, and they've been donating a lot of money to this amazing dog shelter. But Trevor, one of the co-founders of the project, uploaded a video a couple hours ago, actually, about 2 hours ago now, showing their ShelterPetsID system. And I think that this video explains it a lot better than I ever could. So let's just go ahead and watch a couple parts of this video, and you'll totally get it. I think this is the perfect use of a blockchain, an excellent use of Cardano. It's just amazing, and it's having real-world impact. Let's take a look. Okay, so it starts here. This is Boo. This is Trevor's dog, one of the co-founders of the project, Boo. And then Trevor's got his phone in his hand. Trevor is scanning Boo's collar. He's scanning the collar of the puppy, well, the doggo, and then clicking, almost like a QR code, clicking because the tag has a website address. And so when you scan the tag, it goes to this pool.pm website. And take a look at this. The website has a beautiful photo of Boo, who's a white golden doodle, but then it has a bunch of other information, like what to do if you find Boo. So it says here, contact if lost, and then there's the Twitter handle for the Shelter Pets project. And then you've got Boo's date of birth, and then you know, Boo's name here as well. So imagine if someone finds Boo, if Boo gets lost or runs away somehow, someone finds him, that person can call Boo by his name and kind of reassure him. Because I've been lost before. Once, you know, a long time ago I was lost, and a wonderful family found me. They didn't know my name, and so I was pretty scared. But if they were able to call me Timmy, I might feel better, right? And, you know, my other cat friends and dog friends have shared similar stories. And so I love that Boo's name is on here, but also a way to get in touch with Boo's human in case Boo gets lost. And so this is much better. You know, some of my friends, they've had to have surgery, and they've inserted little microchips into their body, like NFC chips, with their human's phone number and contact info on it. But this is a much better solution. There's no surgery needed. It's just on the collar. And the data is stored here on the Cardano blockchain forever. And this is free data to read. And, you know, it's not like a Microsoft database that might get shut down. It's on the blockchain here. And so Boo's information and Boo's human information, Trevor, will be here in case Boo gets lost. And so this is just such a great use of the Cardano blockchain, right? It's stepping away now from profile images, stepping away from the metaverse, and getting back into the meatverse, the physical world. And so, you know, this is a concept, this is actually not what it's going to look like, but it's, you know, maybe something similar to this. These are other tags with QR codes on them, and then that QR code would probably go to like a website with, like, you know, the dog or the cat's information on it, but that website could get taken down, the owner could, you know, get tired of the project or whatever. But here Trevor has a much better implementation where it's on the blockchain, so it's permanent, it's open, it's transparent, and it should be there as long as Cardano is there. So that's really, really, really cool. I was so happy when I saw this. If you watch a little bit more in the video, you can also see there's some links at the end. Trevor and like the Shelter Pets project, their Twitter handle is @ShelterPetsCNFT. But then he's also got a bunch of repos, a bunch of repositories, a bunch of code on GitHub. And he's created some pretty cool tools there that I want to show you as well. Let's go to their website. The website is ShelterPetsCNFT.com. And so when you go there, this is the team page. And so this is Trevor here. I've been chatting with Trevor. Super smart guy, super helpful. And then Real KC. Real KC has been a supporter of Trevor's and a partner on this project. And so big shout out to Real KC for helping as well. And then Hans Kingdom. Hans Kingdom is the artist for their project. Now, with this NFT thing I showed you didn't have a whole lot of art, but the Shelter Pets project has a full NFT collection. They have an NFT collection, and they've been given out 50% of the revenue from this collection goes to dog shelters. They've been working with Hazelpool and also with Pariah Dog Koh Samui. Now, this is a dog shelter in Thailand, and we actually showed you guys this a few weeks ago. You might remember I donated 80 ADA to this dog shelter, and we showed a wonderful video of the couple that founded it. Well, that couple's not involved anymore directly, but Nikki has been running it in Thailand. And, Trevor and Shelter Pets has continually been donating, a lot of ADA to them. They've donated up to 1,760 ADA so far based on sales of Shelter Pets CNFT. And these are pretty cool. Let's actually bring them up here. I'll bring them up on JPG Store. Shelter Pets, should have prepared this. Here we go. So this is Shelter Pets, and look how cute they are. They got cats, they've got dogs. There's some you can get for 69 ADA. Oh, beautiful kitten. How cute is this? I love the big eyes too. Just really beautiful work. Big shout out to Hans Kingdom. He does amazing work. But they've been donating regularly, just as they promised. Super transparent. You can see every day that they donated. And then, the veterinarian bills for Patch. I think that's the name of maybe a doggo. And then they're actually sponsoring 4 dogs. I think they're going to sponsor 3 dogs for 12 months and 1 dog for 6 months. And so it'll be all the food and everything for that dog. It looks like it'll be 1,000 Thai baht to do that. 320 each, it looks like. So you can see 960 there for 3. So just amazing that they've gone ahead and done that. And they actually posted this beautiful video from Nikki. This is the dog shelter that they've donated to. I'll actually zoom in. You can see in this video she introduces the dogs that Shelter Pets is going to sponsor. And look how beautiful this doggo is. Super friendly, super calm personality. I love the ears. Look how cute those ears are. Oh, pretty doggo. And so this is one of 4. There's 3 other dogs that now Trevor has saved, Trevor and Nikki. I mean, Nikki really does the hard work, but huge shout out to Trevor and Shelter Pets for donating. But you can see I think this is another one of the dogs that they're sponsoring. You can see there's a lot more than 4 dogs at this dog shelter in Thailand. She's done a wonderful job, built all kinds of shelters. This is the alpha dog on the left, and then this is one of the dogs that they're sponsoring here as well. What I understand is this dog here was actually attacked by a cobra. I think, in her eye, but it looks like she's pulled through. She seems to be doing okay now. It's very hot, I think, is what they say in the video, so she's resting, but it was pretty close. I understood it was a very dangerous cobra attack, and not everyone actually survived that cobra attack. So I think one of the pups didn't make it, but she survived, and now Trevor and Shelter Pets is going to sponsor her for a year. So food and everything for a year. Just totally amazing. This Shelter Pets project are the real heroes. And so I'm going to help a little way. I'm going to give 100 ADA. So I'm going to be donating 100 ADA today. We did 80 in January. We're going to do 100 ADA today to Pariah Dog Koh Samui. So I've been chatting with Nikki in Facebook, and I have her ADA address. It's actually the same as we shared with you a few weeks ago. I'm going to put that same ADA address. Hey, buddy. I'm going to put that same ADA address in the description, as well as in the top comment. We'll pin a comment. And so if you have a few ADA, if you want to throw some ADA to Pariah Dog Koh Samui, you can see their logo here on her shirt. You can reach out to them on Facebook. Nikki's very, very friendly. You'll be able to throw some ADA their way as well. I'm going to do 100 ADA kind of on behalf of Shelter Pets and Trevor and Real KC and Hans Kingdom. Now, Hans Kingdom, their artist, has really gone above and beyond and done a big favor for me as well. check this out. Hans Kingdom has created a whole set of Timmy-inspired NFTs. And these match the, the Shelter Pets beautiful design here. Just absolutely marvelous. But then he's got a Timmy version, right? With the Cardano shirt on here, the huge eyes, the tail. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely resembles me. So I was really, really touched by this. And he's put quite a bit of effort, like, the red background with the red eyes and the red Cardano logo. That was a lot more than I was expecting. And so we've got 10 here. And we're going to give away 2 in March. I'm actually going to I'm going to try to create a Timmy 2022 collection. So it's going to be a special limited collection of Timmy collabs, Timmy inspired NFTs. And so we're going to give out a couple every month from this collection, from these 10, but we're going to add more things in there. Some of you may have seen the really cool Timmy inspired lazy llama. So this was created by Dalai Lama of the Lazy Llama team. Huge fan of the Lazy Llamas project. But they created this for me yesterday. It's super cute. I love the hair. How cute do I look in this one? And so this I'm also going to try and add to the Timmy 2022 collection. And so we'll have this collection of like Timmy inspired NFTs. And we'll be giving them away, as well as regular project NFTs. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, we're going to give away 2 ADApes. We're giving away dog nuts. We're giving away block owls. We're giving away Makasi. So in March, we're going to be giving away a little bit of NFTs from all of those projects, regular NFTs that you can trade. And then we're going to try and set up a new collection here for Timmy NFTs. And so the way this will work is if you can donate to Tim1 stake pool, that'll help me a lot, because what I want to do is, be able to use some of the Tim1 stake pool to buy NFTs and then give them away to you guys. I think that'll be cool. So far, the channel's been lucky at picking good projects, right? We picked ADApes and we picked Boss Cat Rocket Club, who for now, both of those projects have done very, very, very well. Who knows what will happen in the future, but I think if we can use some of the stake pool money to buy NFTs and give away quite a few, that could be really fun. And so I think for project-based NFTs, like ADApes, like real projects, we're gonna anyone who delegates is able to delegate more than 100 ADA will become eligible, right? And so right now it looks like what is this? Maybe 40 people right now have delegated more than 100 ADA, and so they'll be eligible. And we'll probably be giving away 10 or 12 NFTs in March, so that's a decent chance, and we might add some more between now and then. I'm sure we will actually. And then if you can't delegate 100 ADA, that's no problem. There's quite a few people that have less than 100 ADA. And they're still going to be able to mint that 10 Epoch supporter Timmy NFT. So everyone who delegates, no matter how much they delegate, will be able to mint a custom Timmy stake pool supporter NFT. So don't worry if you don't have 100 ADA. But we'll save the other NFTs like the Timmy 2022 limited collection and the project-based NFTs for anyone who can donate 100 ADA. And so that helps me a lot. I would ask that anyone could consider that. The Sunday Swap ISO is going to be ending next week. And so maybe when that ends up, maybe you could help out this channel and help out this community with the Tim1 stake pool. So big shout out to Hans Kingdom. Thank you so much for creating these. Big shout out to Trevor for creating this really, really cool NFC scan-based ID tag for Boo and for other animals. The way it's going to work is you're going to be able to buy the NFT from Shelter Pets. So you'll pay for the NFT from Shelter Pets, and that will give you a coupon, and that coupon should let you buy the actual physical tag. So I think that's how it's going to work. I think Trevor is still working out the details, so we'll see. That could still change. But that's the idea. You pay for the NFT, and then that acts as a coupon to get the physical tag. And there's a couple other things. If you're technical, if you want to see how it all works, you can go to ShelterPetsCNFT.com, the official site of Shelter Pets. And up here, there's a ShelterPetsID link. And they've got this really cool video here that shows, how it all works. He's created like a command line tool here on the left, where he's entering all the information for his cat, Colby Jack, CJ. I think he's one of Trevor's cat. It's an orange tabby, just beautiful. And he's entering all the information about Colby Jack, and then he creates the CNFT, which will show up over here on the right. This is NFT Maker Pro, which a lot of us are familiar with, a huge NFT program. I've actually set up an account there. I might use them for some of the NFTs I want to do for the channel. We'll see. And so you can see now that there will be a new NFT here for Colby Jack. There it is, that he just created. How cool is that? All the metadata is there, and then he'll show you on pool.pm. There it is. There's the one that he just created, seconds ago for his cat. And so now if he can attach this, somehow connect it to that physical NFC tag, put it on his collar, and then, if ever Colby Jack gets lost, it should be easy to find him. There's another video down here that shows what happens when you scan. This is the phone, so you get a little pop-up here saying that, we detected a website. And so when you click that, you can open it up in your browser, and then it'll go to pool.pm automatically, and that has, if lost, contact ShelterPetsID, just like that. Absolutely amazing. Really good work, Shelter Pets, and thank you for all of your help. Trevor has been helping me, been giving me advice on good things I can do with the channel, helping me with technology, helping me with NFTs. Very, very smart guy. And then, Real KC, thank you for helping Trevor and supporting the project. And then Hans Kingdom as well. Amazing artist. Thank you for the amazing work you did on the custom Timmy NFTs. All three of these are great guys. I hope to continue chatting with them and just they're some of the best people in the community. So send them some love. ShelterPetsCNFT.com, and then Pariah Dog Koh Samui is the dog shelter. I'm going to put their ADA address and their website address in the description and the pinned comment. All right. Well, that's our show for today. I do hope you enjoyed the show. A little bit long today, but I had a lot of fun making it. We're gonna do another one probably on Saturday, and then next week I want to do the very first live stream. I'm gonna try and do 2 live streams this month, but I think we're gonna try and do one as a test, and then maybe 1 or 2 interviews. We might do like a live CNFT drawing with a very good NFT artist. That's a bit of we're gonna see if we can set that up, but that's gonna be a bit of a surprise if we can pull it off. So video on Saturday, if not Sunday. Video this weekend, let's say, and then some live streams coming up. So thank you for all of your support. Thank you for everyone who delegated to Tim1, and I hope you have a great week. Meow.